Let's fucking go. Texas Tech has their quarterback for 2026, as it was a long, winding road to get Brendan Sorsby to commit to the Scarlet and Black, but damn it, Joey McGuire and crew have their guy to be QB1 in 2026. And well, he's staying in the Big 12. Let's discuss it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Didn't know if we were going to be doing one of these. For Brendan Sorsby, but here we are. The Red Raiders have their head man, and it is awesome to see because this is a guy that is a game changer for the Red Raiders. I'd be remiss not to mention, if you haven't already, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Be sure to like the video. And man, this is a monumental commitment for the Red Raiders because let's face it, yeah, Carson, never a doubt, right? Just never a doubt. Full-blown sarcasm right there, no doubt about it. This is a big one for Texas Tech because let's backtrack a little bit. I'm going to open up a sore wound here. Sorry about it. But hey, like, your quarterback wasn't very good in the college football playoff, right? Like, Baron Morton just wasn't good. And I'm not saying if you had Brendan Sorsby, you win that game, but I think you have a lot better chance to do so. And I think Joey McGuire and crew already had a plan to go out and get a guy like Brendan Sorsby, right? Or a Sam Levitt, okay? They had the top end of the portal identified. It had been rumored for a long time. We had talked about it here on the channel for really multiple weeks that Brendan Sorsby was the target for Texas Tech when it came to the premier quarterback they wanted to get, okay? And so now there was a little bit of rockiness, but you officially got him to commit. Pete Thamel is the one to break the news officially on Twitter. You see it right there. Former Cincinnati quarterback Brendan Sorsby, the top player in the NCAA transfer portal, has committed to Texas Tech. He tells ESPN Sorsby's decision comes in the wake of a 48-hour visit flurry that included visits to Texas Tech and LSU. Now, there's a lot to go in here. How did we get here, first and foremost? Because we dropped a video here on the channel discussing how Sam Levitt was potentially supposed to be in the 806. That visit never happened, according to Pete Thamel. In fact, it sounds like they were like, hey, Sam, no need to come here. We're going to get this done with Sorsby and get everything ironed out, and then we'll announce it sometime later today. No need for you to even get on the plane to come to Lubbock, Texas. Instead, it sounds like Sam Levitt will potentially be, well, I guess the second option now that Texas Tech beat out LSU to land Brendan Sorsby. So maybe that's the option that LSU lands with. Maybe they get somebody else, right? I don't know. But the Red Raiders get their guy. And this is something that is pivotal for Texas Tech. We'll talk about it in a little bit here in terms of why in the coming, 48 hours, this is so critical for Texas Tech because of a certain couple of players that are going to be on campus. And now what this does in terms of the viability of going out into the portal for Texas Tech, saying, hey, to offensive players, this is who your quarterback is going to be in 2026. It is going to be Brendan Sorsby. And this is the best case scenario when it comes to the bridge year, right? We've talked about that for Texas Tech, and it was, can you get a guy that can still keep this momentum going for Texas Tech that you got in 2025 with this very good foundation that you set with an elite defense, arguably the best defense in college football, in my opinion, it was. And then your offense was explosive, but let's face it, you were laxing when it came to the quarterback position. You had to upgrade, and you do so here. It is unbelievable that Texas Tech finally got here. Huge shout out to Joey McGuire, James Blanchard, Cody Campbell, everybody that got this done, all the other donors. I mean, this was a necessary move, and we'll talk about a little bit more here in just a second. Before we do, though, I think this Pete Nakos update about the whole ordeal is fascinating. And you see it on your screen right now. Brendan Sorsby called Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, and top booster Cody Campbell to deliver the news. Campbell He just called me and Patrick Mahomes to tell us he's coming to win the Natty. Listen, I think it's possible. I know it's crazy, but like if Texas Tech gets remotely close to that, it's unbelievable in terms of finally getting this guy, and all the metrics back it up. I have the video out right now on the channel breaking down the metrics for him a little bit more in detail in terms of what's going on there. And he is a guy that really this season was in a 90 percentile or higher in every play that matters or every stat that matters for an elite quarterback. And now, did the season end the way that he wanted it to in Cincinnati? No, but you have to think about it from this perspective as well. There is going to be an immense talent increase around Brendan Sorsby. Okay. He is going to go into an offense that is lethal when it comes to explosive plays. Okay. Now, Mac Leftwich, a guy that wants to have a mobile quarterback, and not necessarily one that runs, but one that you can get outside the pocket and do things with, comes to Texas Tech, and he's proven. Again, this guy ran for 500 yards in college football, which is, again, like you lose yards because you're sacked. It's stupid, but it's the truth. Okay, so this is an elite runner of the at the quarterback spot, right? And a guy that Texas Tech obviously identified at a high level. And this is a guy that has played at a very high level in terms of multiple years up in Cincinnati. I know a lot of people outside the Big 12 don't know the level of player that Brendan Sorsby is, but this is a guy that I truly think increases the ceiling in the floor for Texas Tech to where now it's not just going to help the offensive side of the football in the portal and guys you get there. This is also going to help guys you get on the defensive side because they think, okay, now we can go and we know who the quarterback is and we know that offense is going to be lethal. It's going to make our jobs that much easier on defense. And there's already going to be a ton of talent over there. You got a guy in terms of a J-Rod replacement that is your QB on that side of the football now, in Austin Romaine, who is a two-time all Big 12 linebacker, right? There's just so many weapons around the field. And speaking of weapons, we'll talk about it here in a second. But again, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We've got 200 people in here. We've only got, 16 likes? Be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. This is a big one. This is a big one for Texas Tech. Let's see who we've got in here. Lane Kiffin shoved in a locker by Joey McGuire. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just that. We've got a couple of bitter LSU fans in here. That's understandable. I'd be bitter too if you got stuffed in a locker by an oil tycoon. I got a great text from my LSU buddy once they figured out that Sorsby wasn't coming down to Baton Rouge. Let me read this to you because it's a pretty good one, actually, in terms of the text message. I thought it was pretty good anyway. Again, I'm heavily biased in this, but I thought it was pretty funny. He said, "Gumbo powers you and me, but oil powers the fucking world. There's levels to this shit. GG's, Texas Tech." Yeah. Yeah, you dominated him, man. Like he even went on the visit there and you still won. And again, say it's money, fine, whatever it is, it doesn't matter in that regard. Like it's NIL. Don't speak broke. It's not hard. Lane Kiffin wanted this guy. This was Lane Kiffin's #1 target. Okay. Like this was the guy. And Joey McGuire and crew had the same observation. Like this is the quarterback we want to go after because we think he can excel in our offense. You think Brendan Sorsby is a bad quarterback now that he didn't choose LSU? No, it's quite the contrary. Okay. Brendan Sorsby is a star and a guy that was going to get second-round NFL draft grades. And now he's the starting quarterback for the Texas Tech Red Raiders in 2026. Cheers to this shit real quick. Cheers to this. We're drinking. We don't give a damn. We're so up. Red Raider Nation is so up right now. Appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all are drinking tonight. We're reloading. You're right. You're right. We're fucking reloading in this bitch. We don't care. We're letting every curse word fly tonight. That's good shit. That's good shit. Okay. I know some of y'all are talking about Cam Coleman and then also Omarion Miller. That's a big reason why this is such a big deal for Texas Tech, in the sense that the portal in terms of the window this year is so much shorter than it was last year, right? You think about the historic portal class Texas Tech had last year where they blew everybody out of the water, right? Like if you go to On Three, they give a score in terms of everything, and it's like, okay, Texas Tech is at 100. The next closest team was actually, funny enough, LSU at 70, right? Like in terms of talent acquisition or whatnot. So the Red Raiders blew everybody out of the water. You saw what they did on the gridiron this year. Pretty damn good. Okay. By the way, it's Dos Equis. It's Dos Equis. I have it in a 2 Docs cup, though. That's pretty dope. But it is Dos Equis. I'm not going to lie about it. Anyway, I digress. You had to have your quarterback in place because you look at what is happening on Tuesday. You are about to have 2 of the top 5 portal wide receivers visiting. At least that's the schedule right now. As 5-star wide receiver, Cam Coleman from Auburn is set to visit the 806 on January 6th. Same can be said about Omarion Miller. They will be on campus supposedly at the same time. That's the schedule right now, okay? Texas Tech, they had to tell him who the quarterback was going to be because one of the biggest caveats for Cam Coleman, he's come out and said it, right? Like it's being reported widely that one of the biggest things for him is he needs to know who's going to throw him the damn ball, right? You look at some of the teams that are in the mix for him. You've got USC. They have their quarterback returning. Obviously, UT, A&M, they've got their quarterbacks returning as well. Texas Tech was the lone school on there that didn't have a quarterback at the time. You'd think that Cam Coleman was going to agree to an official visit with Texas Tech if they didn't know Brendan Sorsby was going to be the quarterback? Nonsense. It was going to happen, okay? It was going to happen. It was just a matter of when at this point. And I think we probably should have read the tea leaves a little bit better there and hand up for accountability. That's on me. I probably could have done that a little bit better. That being said, you're here now, and now you go out and you add guys already in the portal today. Right. And 2 guys that I don't think are necessarily going to wow you or be quote unquote traditional starters. But the thing is for Texas Tech, what did they do this year at a level that was kind of extraordinary, at least in my opinion? They did not rotate wide receivers. Right. There was it felt like Reggie Virgil was always on the field. Caleb Payday Douglas was always on the field. Don't forget the Payday. You know the rules here on the RBR. Right. You know the rules. And then Koy Aiken was always on the field. All right. Like now you got to go out, and there's a lot of those depth guys that left. You got the TJ Wests of the world, Kelby Volsons of the world. Caleb Payday Douglas is leaving for the NFL. You've got Reggie Virgil done with eligibility unless the 5-for-5 miraculously gets approved, which I don't think it will. But hopefully I'm wrong on that front. I'd love Reggie Virgil back. But the thing is like, you look at what Texas Tech had to do in the portal. They had to go out and get a plethora of wide receivers and ones that are more importantly fast. And they've got 2 of those today. Now, again, they're not from, top of the top level talent schools or anything. One is from the FCS and the SWAC at Alabama State and Jalen Jones. But if you put his numbers into the FBS, he would have been the leading yards per catch guy. Like he averaged 22.9. He is a speedster and will help you on special teams. Same can be said for Donta Lee, who went to Liberty. FBS, he played in a pretty solid conference in the American. He had close to 600 yards this year and averaged 18.4 yards per catch. But what is the biggest thing with those 2 guys? They can separate. They have speed. That's something Texas Tech didn't have. That's going to be alluring to Brendan Sorsby, obviously. And I don't know if those 2 guys commit if they don't know who the quarterback is, right? But at the end of the day, now you're targeting guys at the upper echelon of the portal in terms of not just at the wide receiver position. Obviously, Cam Coleman and Omarion Miller are the 2 biggest guys right now in terms of them being on campus in a couple of days. I believe it's January 6th, like I said earlier. But this is a thing now where you can pitch them, hey, Brendan Sorsby is throwing you the football, man. Like, this is a good quarterback. This is a system that gets explosive plays. You can come here and get drafted at a high level because he has proven that he can get guys the ball at a very high efficient rate. Okay. It's going to be great. I'm very excited. Oh, we got some super chats. Let's see who we got here. Yep. Let's go on up here. Where we got? Here we go. Cheers, bud. Hope y'all are drinking and enjoying tonight, too. This is a big day for Texas Tech. Shout out to Dos Equis. If you want to be a sponsor, hit me up. We're just the most subscribed to Texas Tech YouTube channel. No big deal or anything. It's because of you guys. But this Dos Equis hitting differently when Brendan Sorsby's your quarterback. I know LSU fans can't relate. Refreshing. Okay. Who else we got? We got another super chat. Thank you, by the way, for the super chat. Hope your beer is as cold as mine. Here we go. We got another one. Was a senior at Tech during the 08 season. I'm so hyped to be a Red Raider in 2026. Same, man. I mean, this is the golden era of Texas Tech. athletics. You think about what's going on, not just in the football program, right? But around campus. You have arguably the best softball player of all time currently on your team, right? They're going to be the number one team in the country in the preseason. Basketball, both on the men's and women's side, pretty damn good. I mean, the Lady Raiders are one of, I believe, 5 teams, maybe 4 teams now in women's college basketball. They're undefeated. I mean, they just signed one of the tallest women basketball players in the world to play for them. I mean, they're just loaded, man. I mean, and track and field just signed a superstar as well. I mean, it's all over the place. Golf is great. Tennis is great. I mean, it's just what a time to be a Red Raider. Soccer's great. I'm trying not to exclude any programs here, but it is the golden age of Texas Tech athletics. I appreciate the super chat and you supporting the channel, man. Let's see here. Got another one saying, good job on all the content this weekend. Yeah. This is I went back and counted. I believe this is the 10th video on the channel here. Again, 10th video, keeping you up to date on the latest, portal rumors, news, everything you need to know. And also the latest commitments. And I told you guys over on Twitter, hey, like if this news happened tonight, we're going live. We're going to party here, baby. As long as we've got some people in here, a lot of people, again, we need more likes. We only got 62 and there's over 300 people watching. But hey, this is the place to be when it comes to Texas Tech and Red Raider Nation right here. Easy Big 12 championship for 2026. They're just reloading, man. Like, it was maybe naive of me not to believe them, but also at the same time, like it was hard to believe them because of how great the team was in 2025. But maybe they're right, man. Maybe that was the worst team Texas Tech is going to have for a while because they took that loss to Oregon, rightfully so, personal, especially on the offensive side of the football. They took it personal. You go out and you have a major upgrade now. I'm not trying to belittle Baron Morton. What he's meant to this program is monumental, right? But yeah, man, you upgraded in a major, major fucking way with Brendan Sorsby. Again, let's go ahead and get the tweet on your screen and we'll go ahead and answer some of your questions. You see it on your screen right there. Pete Thamel was the first reporter nationally to report on it that Brendan Sorsby will commit or has committed to Texas Tech. And then the cool part about it, I think this is even cooler who he called, man. Were they on speakerphone together? Like, were they all 3 on the phone together? Like, this is just dope as hell, man. Brendan Sorsby called Kansas City Chief quarterback Patrick Mahomes, get better soon, Patty, and top booster Cody Campbell to deliver the news. Campbell said, hey, he just called me and Patrick Mahomes to tell us he's coming to win the Natty. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. I'm telling you, man, this is what a day. What a day, man, because this is a big one. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in here in terms of a lot of haters. And they got some LSU fans obviously upset in here, and that's okay. Not everybody can be winners. That's fine. We don't need to worry about history or anything like that. That doesn't matter in modern college football. But the Red Raiders, I mean, they got their guy. And I think that's the most important thing. Talking shit be damned here, right? Like from a Texas Tech standpoint, this was the most critical signing that the Red Raiders could have had. Because let's lay out the scenario again in terms of understanding where Texas Tech is at right now, right? We know what happened in 2025. You got to the college football playoff. You got shellacked because your offense was poo cheese, if we're being honest, against Oregon. Tip of the cap to Oregon. Their defense was great. I thought the Texas Tech defense was great, but at the same time, yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't matter on that front. Okay. Where is Texas Tech, though? You had Will Hammond, tear his ACL against Oklahoma State. Okay. And he was supposed to be your guy moving forward. Now it created this dilemma for Texas Tech going into the portal where it was like, okay, are we going to trust, maybe Mitch Griffiths, who is now in the portal, by the way, to, play the first non-con games and kind of hope that Will Hammond will be back for Big 12 play? That obviously was never very realistic. So you had to find a bridge year kind of guy. And when you talk about a bridge year kind of guy, you want a guy that is proven and established in terms of playing high-level football in a high-level conference. And Brendan Sorsby fit the mold, right? Obviously, Sam Levitt fit the mold. There were multiple other guys connected to Texas Tech. But Brendan Sorsby, from a fit perspective, was the perfect fit in a Mac Leftwich offense. Again, I talked about it a little bit earlier. Mac Leftwich likes his quarterbacks to be mobile, not necessarily just quintessential running quarterbacks or anything like that. But no, more so guys that you can expand the pocket. You can roll out and run and make the defense feel, hey, we've got to cover sideline to sideline and not just vertical. Okay. So you really extend the field as well on this front. I think that that's the biggest thing. So you go out and get Sorsby. He's proven that at Cincinnati he can do that. He's going to be playing with the most talent he's ever played with at Texas Tech, point blank, period, right? They're going to go out and get more guys. Obviously, Omarion Miller and Cam Coleman are the belle of the ball right now at the wide receiver position. The Red Raiders have been heavily linked to Omarion Miller, and they at least have a visit with Cam Coleman. Although, I'll be honest, I would be pretty surprised if Cam Coleman is a Red Raider. Maybe I'm poo-pooing on a party here. That's on me. Let me drink real fast on that front. There we go. Okay. But what I'm saying is this. Texas Tech is in a prime position to continue, and they needed to get a quarterback that can propel the Red Raiders off this just really good foundation that they built in 2025 and continue with the momentum that they're not only building on the field, but off of it, right? From a recruiting standpoint, you just got Felix Ojo, LaDainian Guyton, and in 2027, you currently have the #1 class with the #1 overall player in Jalen Brewster. You've got Kavian Bryant, the #1 quarterback in that class as well, with a multitude of other 4-star and blue chip recruits already committed and heavily favored to land at Texas Tech for that class. So you needed to keep that momentum and really allow Will Hammond to make sure that he was fully healthy. How do you do that? You get a Brendan Sorsby. Now your timeline is this if you're Texas Tech, okay? You got Brendan Sorsby for this year. He's got 1 year of eligibility left. If he balls out, he could be a first-round NFL draft pick next year. Full stop. That's a real possibility. Okay. If he does that, that's going to help Texas Tech, right? But also you have Will Hammond. He's ready to go in 2027. Then that allows you to redshirt Kavian Bryant to take over the reins in 2028. Texas Tech really has a plan here at the quarterback spot, and that's pivotal because in today's modern college football landscape, if you can sell recruits on who is going to be the quarterback, the most important position in all of sports, let alone just football, you're at an advantage. Okay. And Texas Tech has proven that they will take care of their players. They will take care of the people that matter in terms of the positions of need and importance on the football field, whether that's the quarterback position, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, whatever it is. And they're going to pay their coaches as well as all 4 of the high level coaches in terms of the head coach, Joey McGuire, and the coordinators all got extensions and pretty significant raises during the 2025 season. This is big for Texas Tech in a multitude of ways because now, again, people are going to see you just got the #1 player in the class portal cycle, according to ESPN. Okay. So at the end of the day, right, you're looking at this and this is going to help you recruit at a very, very high level. Let's see here. I saw some super chats. And again, if you want to get on the screen, easiest way is the super chat. This is more than a reload. This is a new caliber. I would agree. And again, you have to think of the influx of talent they're getting from the high school ranks too. Like you got a top 20 class coming in. I'm not trying to say that is, the greatest class in the world or anything like that. But typically Texas Tech hasn't had that, right? And now this is the new age of Texas Tech recruiting. And you get a couple of guys that can come in, make impacts as true freshmen, most notably LaDainian Guyton, who reclassified from 2027 to 2026. He will be an integral part of that edge rotation for the Red Raiders in 2026 and moving forward. Then you think about 2027. We've already talked about how it's the #1 recruiting class in America right now. Okay. And it's only going to get better. Will it end up at #1? I don't know. Other people will sign as well. Ohio State's of the world, Oregon, and everything like that. But I feel pretty good about saying at worst, it's going to be a top 10 class. And I feel like it's actually going to be top 5 because you're going to see more blue chip recruits commit to the Red Raiders. So again, this is only helping Texas Tech. Yes, NIL is a part of it, but also at the same time, you have the best facilities in America. You're coming off of a Big 12 championship. You just went to the college football playoff, and you're getting more talent than you've ever had on campus from a high school and portal standpoint. This is the time to be very aggressive if you were Texas Tech, and that's exactly what the Red Raiders are doing. All right, let's see here. It will be nice to have a quarterback with wheels. Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun for sure. I think the biggest thing too is like, again, just he can throw down the field. He's good in the intermediate side of it. And I think the thing that a lot of people haven't talked about, that at least I've seen in the tech space, and I probably could have done a better job of this as well, is the RPO side of things. I think this is going to open up the RPO game a ton for Texas Tech. And it looks like Brendan Sorsby he just tweeted it out. Maybe it was a while ago and I just didn't see it, but it looks like Brendan Sorsby. Let's get that tweet on your screen real quick for you. Hell yeah, brother. It was a little while ago. Y'all should have told me in the comments, man. What are we doing here? Help me out, brother. Help me out. Okay? Gotta help me out sometimes. See it on your screen right there. Brendan Sorsby. He makes it official over on Twitter. I mean, again, man, this is a big time deal for the Red Raiders in a multitude of ways. I mean, you can't help but think to yourself, okay, now you have a real shot to go after guys like, Omarion Miller, other big time playmakers. You got your running backs coming back. Does this entice really high level offensive line talent? You're going to need a left guard potentially, right? Now you can go out and you can sell people. And Tuesday is going to be a critical day for the Red Raiders in the portal. Again, you have two of the premier pass catchers in the country and in the portal set to visit you in Cam Coleman, the 5-star wide receiver from Auburn. And then you've also got Omarion Miller set to visit as well. So this is going to be absolutely it's going to be a massive week for Texas Tech. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it. And it's starting here. Again, I mean, sure, it sucks that you lost in the college football playoff, but you want to see your favorite teams and your programs be aggressive, right? And that's exactly what you need, right? Like if you see something in a deficiency in the workplace or on the field or whatever it may be, like you try and take actions to mitigate it. And Texas Tech just did that with getting Brendan Sorsby. I mean, this is a guy that, again, like we were talking about potentially going to the NFL and being, there were some people that thought, hey, like he could get an NFL first round promise. Obviously that did not happen. But again, he was getting rumored to go in the second or third round of the NFL draft. We're talking about a marquee quarterback in the college football space and a guy that Texas Tech, I mean, hey, like he's a baller, man. He's a baller. Let me get this on the screen real quick. Again, if you want to get your question on the screen, easiest way is to super chat. I'll answer questions as well from the comments, but I appreciate y'all. We got 400 people in here. Y'all are absolutely insane. Appreciate each and every one of y'all spending some of y'all's time with me. Let me get to this comment real quick. And again, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. We're on our journey to 15K. It's been a wild 48 hours here on the channel. Over, I believe last I checked, 300 new subscribers. So let's keep it up as we try and continue to grow the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube and the Red and Black Report. All right, enough with the promo. Let me get a drink real fast. Again, Dos Equis, let me know what y'all are drinking tonight in the comments. All right. RC, can you give a quick analysis on if Sorsby was the better in the comparison with Levitt? Heard he was also potentially visiting Tech. Love the content as always. Yeah, I think that's fair. I've always said this, and I'm not going to change my mind now that Brendan Sorsby is the quarterback for Texas Tech. I think Brendan Sorsby is the better fit with no injuries, which is big, right? Like I think a lot of us have scars in terms of since Patrick Mahomes was on campus, how it feels like every damn quarterback for Texas Tech gets hurt, right? Brendan Sorsby has a good track record of staying healthy. He's also a perfect fit in this Mac Leftwich offense. Like, I don't know if there's anyone in the country that is a better fit than him. You can go out there and get other guys, like for sure, and put them in the conversation. But Brendan Sorsby is a perfect fit in this Mac Leftwich offense. That being said, I think it would be remiss to say Sam Levitt is at least more talented, right? And how much more talented? Probably not much. But again, I'm not going to belittle what Sam Levitt did at Arizona State, okay? Like he went from Michigan State to Arizona State, and in the first year he was in Tempe, he took the Sun Devils to the college football playoff. Like when he's healthy, he's great. The issue is when he's healthy, right? He has a Liz Frank injury. He wasn't going to go through spring ball if he did commit to Texas Tech. And that's big in the portal era, right? We think about these teams that have had success in terms of going portaling and getting quarterbacks. And it's because those quarterbacks have been on campus, have gone through spring ball, and they haven't been hurt. I think that that's a big deal for Texas Tech here. That's why they were so attracted to Brendan Sorsby outside of the skill set. So in terms of between the two, I think Brendan Sorsby is the more perfect fit, extremely talented, perfect fit with no injury, while Sam Levitt is probably slightly more talented, but also carries much, much more injury risk. I think that that's probably where we're at. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the comment and appreciate you supporting the channel and tuning in, man. When is Lyle going to be on your show? I don't know. That's a Lyle thing, man. I've reached out to him, not trying to throw him under the bus. He's a busy dude, man. He is a busy, busy dude. So I'm trying to get him on the show. I know y'all want to hear from him, and I'm trying to get him on to recap some of these wide receiver commitments that Texas Tech has already had, and hopefully, fingers crossed, 2 more that they have later on this week. But that's probably me hoping. Let's see here. I'm drinking Lane Kiffin's tears. That's okay. I mean, you could just go to a hot yoga studio and get his sweat at that point. I guess, at the end of the day. Let's see. Sorsby wasn't about to allow Stantis. Oh, man. Y'all are crazy with his girlfriend stuff. Oh, y'all are crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. Yeah, y'all are crazy with that girlfriend stuff. So again, let's run through this in terms of where we're at. I want to put it on your screen again. Brendan Sorsby announcing that, well, through his Twitter, that he has committed to Texas Tech. And this is an official Texas Tech graphic, by the way. You can tell that their creative team made this for the Red Raiders. It's very nuanced and fits exactly what they've been doing in terms of their graphics and everything that they put on social media so far this year. But I also want to look at this. This is super cool. As you can see it on your screen right now. Pete Nakos reported that, hey, like, apparently he called Patrick Mahomes and Cody Campbell to deliver the news. Like, that's pretty sick, man. Like, that's a baller move, and said, hey, I'm coming to win the Natty. And again, obviously money's involved here. But yeah, man, I mean, this was always the guy for Texas Tech. There's just no other way around it. This was the guy for Texas Tech. And again, perfect fit in this offense. You think about what Mac likes to do from a scheme standpoint, and he likes to push the envelope down the field, right? In terms of getting guys in with separation and space and everything like that. But the thing is, Texas Tech really didn't have a lot of, wide receivers that can do that. That's obviously changing. They're targeting guys. They've already landed a couple of guys that I think will help improve that. They're returning one of their best separators, and albeit limited action, in Micah Hudson, who I think will play a more predominant role for the Red Raiders next year, albeit how much, I don't know. Probably TBD on who they get in the portal at the wide receiver position. But Texas Tech went out and got a quarterback that can go down the field, extend plays with his legs and his arm, is good in the intermediate side of things, has a great explosive play percentage, ranking plus 90%, according to multiple metrics that I have seen on that front. So this is big. I think now, again, it's the talent acquisition side of things if you're Texas Tech. This is going to help you go out and get guys in terms of, do you want to go get a star left guard if possible? Do you want to increase the talent on the offensive line? You've already got a great, running back room. You're not going to add anybody there because you will get Quentin Joyner back. You got Jacoby Williams, who you can move around a little bit more and move as a gadget guy around the offense. That'll be fun. Cam Dickey was a 1,000-yard rusher this year, and one of the best returning running backs in all of college football. I haven't even mentioned Terrence Carter Jr. I'm telling you right now, Terrence Carter Jr. will be the leading receiver in terms of receiving yards next year for Texas Tech. That's my prediction, because Brendan Sorsby is going to love him. Love him. Okay. And now it could potentially attract even more talent. We already talked about the wide receiver side of things, in the sense of you've got Cam Coleman set to visit here in a few hours. By a few hours, I mean on Tuesday. And then same can be said for Omarion Miller. You're still in the running for Trey Wilson, the wide receiver that's a former 5-star from a couple years ago that's transferring out of Florida. Potentially he comes back to the Lone Star State, right? Like, there's a multitude of guys you're after. And who knows, now that you land Sorsby, who else you can attract by saying, hey, this is your quarterback now. You sure you don't want to come to Texas Tech? Hey, man, it is what it is. I think Texas Tech has a chance to really, really increase this offense and go after really big time game changers now. And it all starts because you have a guy in Brendan Sorsby. Let's see here. I saw some questions on here. Oh, here we go. When is Joyner going to be ready as part of the RB room? I believe it's supposed to be spring. If not spring, they may play it safe. I know that he tore his ACL in August during fall camp. So maybe they play it safe and they just, do them off to the side drills type stuff during spring ball. But he's supposed to be ready to go and be a part of that room. His dad is very active on Twitter. I'm not saying you should read too much into this or anything, but his dad is very active in the Texas Tech space. I'm very excited to see QJ next year be a part of this running back room that was already loaded with Jacoby Williams and Cam Dickey. Now it becomes a three-headed monster and probably will be a lot better, to be honest with you. Okay. Have we found a Lee Hunter replacement? Yeah, I think the name to watch for that is Mateen Ibaragba. He's the Wake Forest guy. The main competition for him would be Notre Dame. And it sounds like there's going to be a visit. I am not sure on what day. If somebody knows for sure in the comments, please let me know. I haven't seen a specific day. But Mateen is a guy that I am very excited about the possibility of being a Red Raider next year. And he is set to visit, according to, I believe it was Pete Nakos on 3 Report. Maybe it was somebody else there at that network. But he is set to visit a couple of schools, I think, like Tennessee, Notre Dame, Texas Tech. There's another one, but I forget which one it was. But he's a guy to watch. They also had 3 defensive linemen. Well, they have 3 defensive linemen in the 806 right now. Actually dropped the video, and I know it's back on the channel quite a bit now. I think it was 6 videos ago. I mean, this is the 7th video of the day here. So again, just another reason to like the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's no other YouTube channel in the tech space that is literally dropping 7 videos in one day. My wife probably hates me. I love you. I love you, honey. I love you. Love you. Shout out to Hungry in Dallas. Okay. But in all seriousness, you had 3 guys on campus. You've had the Akron guy. I'm trying to make sure that I get all the names right here. Akron defensive lineman, Julian Lenture, or it's something like that. Laventure. That's his name. I probably butchered it. JoJo Johnson from Oregon State. And then you've got Bryce Butler from Washington. Julian is the guy that I'm most excited about there. He kind of he's got some Skylar Gill Howard to him. He's nice. I like him a lot. A little bit shorter guy, explosive, a little bit mean streak in him. I like him. I like him quite a bit. JoJo is a guy that is more of a depth piece. And again, you're going to need to add 3 or 4 defensive tackles in this portal class because it sounds like Jaden Cofield had an injury. And we're probably not going to get any kind of news on that front, but he sustained an injury during the Orange Bowl, and we don't know the severity of it. So probably going to see Texas Tech add 1 more defensive lineman than you probably thought. And then Bryce Butler, he's from Washington. He started out at Garden City Community College up in Kansas, but he is 6'5", 325. He is not as good as Lee Hunter, but he takes up as much space. I'll tell you that right now. He takes up as much space. So those are the 3 guys that I'm looking at right now in terms of defensive linemen that are on campus. They're on campus as we speak, or at least we're on campus today. And at the time of this recording, y'all listen to it live, but just in case somebody comes back and watches, it's Sunday, January 4th. A couple of other guys to monitor on the defensive line is Wendell Gregory from Oklahoma State. He was one of the best pass rushers in the Big 12 this past season. You wouldn't know it, though, because Oklahoma State was dog shit. I'm not even going to say, not even trying to be mean. They were dog shit. Okay. And then another one is Trey White. He is supposed to be on campus either getting there tonight, Sunday, January 4th, or on January 5th. He is the edge from San Diego State. He is a guy that reminds me of a bulkier Romello Height. Like, I love watching Trey White film. He is really good. Texas Tech is in the mix there. I'm trying to think of who else they're in the mix for. Oh, David Martin. He's a corner to watch out for. I'm just running through the Rolodex in my mind here. If I forget anybody, I apologize. But hopefully this is helping you guys have a better idea of who Texas Tech is targeting overall. And again, I'll have more videos here on the channel probably tomorrow discussing everything and where Texas Tech stands. So David Martin, I haven't talked about him on the channel, but he was a name that I heard today. He's from UTSA. He's a corner. He ranked as the 5th best corner in conference. Is UTSA Conference USA? Or is that the American? Whatever conference they're in. I think it's the American. Anyway, whatever conference UTSA, and he ranked out as the 5th best corner there in terms of passer rating against, which I think was like 55.7. He's a guy that reminds me of Dante Balfour. Texas Tech is heavily in the mix there. He's not going to be like a Bryce Pollock or anything like that. But he is a guy that I think Texas Tech has serious interest in. Real quick, got to get a drink. God, Dos Equis, man. Refreshing as hell. Again, appreciate y'all tuning in. And who else is there? I'm trying to think. Man, there's so many people that have been on campus. Oh, Cam Cooper. He's is it Central Colorado? Some smaller Colorado school linebacker. Reminds me of Bryce Ramirez. I think he would be more of a depth piece at the linebacker position for the Red Raiders, but he is a guy that could play on special teams as well. He's a name to monitor on that front. And then obviously, by now, the Red Raiders have landed 4 commitments today. 3 on the offensive side of the football, and then 1 on the defensive side of the football. The 1 on the defensive side of the football is your Jacob Rodriguez replacement and 2-time All Big 12 linebacker Austin Romaine from Kansas State. He will be a probably day 2 pick in the NFL draft next year. That is the smallest drop-off you can possibly have from Jacob Rodriguez to whoever replaces him in terms of linebackers in the country, because Jacob Rodriguez ranked as the best linebacker according to PFF in the Big 12. Do you know who's number 2? I'll give you one guess and one guess only. Austin Romaine. Okay, so that's big time. Then you add a guy like Jalen Jones, a very speedy guy from Alabama State. He'll help you on special teams, but he had a 22.9 yards per catch. You heard that. Nearly 23 yards per catch. He was an Alabama State guy. He'll help you in terms of adding speed and separating from guys. He's shifty. He's a smaller guy, 5'9", but I like that acquisition. Think Dre McCray, but a better wide receiver. No disrespect to Dre because he is a really good special teams guy, but a better wide receiver is Jalen Jones. And then you had Dante Lee Jr. commit. He's from Liberty. He kind of reminds me of a Caleb Payday Douglas type, but way quicker. He has a similar body type to Caleb. Caleb is a little bit more physical on the outside, while Lee Jr. can create separation with his speed. He's 6'3", 190, runs like a 4.4. And that was something that Texas Tech prioritized in the portal, and I think they will continue to prioritize in the portal, is getting guys that can separate, because that's something that these wide receivers, really the past few years at Texas Tech, have done I don't want to say piss poor job. They just haven't been good at it, if we're being honest. We got another one here on the screen. Again, if you want to get your comment on the screen, best way to do it is a super chat. All right, Sorsby is Morton and Hammond is 1. QB, super stoked. Yep. I mean, man, I'm very excited about the trajectory of the quarterback spot for Texas Tech, in the sense of you got Sorsby, you got Will Hammond after that, and then you've got Kavian Bryant. Best case scenario for Texas Tech at the quarterback spot. Yeah, really big stuff. I appreciate your RC and all your work. I can't wait till next year to hear you say belt ass every game. Yeah. Oh, did he commit? Oh, I didn't see he committed. Oh, that's dope. Let's freaking go, man. So they got Julian as well? Is that what y'all are telling me? I should have looked at the comments earlier, guys. My bad. I missed it. Hell yeah, brother. Sorry, I got to send a tweet out, guys. Hold on. Okay, that's awesome. Appreciate y'all letting me know. I should have looked a little earlier. That's on me. That is on me. Yeah, I do have to make another video after this live. My wife hates me today. That's going to be 8 videos today, guys. That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah. 8 videos it's a lot, but again, at the end of the day, that's why you subscribe to this channel. That's why you subscribe to this channel, man. I'm just telling you right now, it is the reason you hit that subscribe button. Yeah, this one that's a lot of fun because I really, really like him. And in fact, let's go ahead and get that on your screen real quick. He's a guy that I really like. In fact, I'll just take you straight to the tweet that I just sent out because this is a guy that I really, really like. Okay, let's go ahead and get it on your screen real quick. Work with me, stay with me. Boom. There we go. Hayes Fawcett was the guy that I saw it from first. I don't know who actually reported it. But again, Julian Lenture. Did I say it right? Yeah, I think it's Lenture. Man, he reminds me of SGH when you see the film. 45 total tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Yeah, man. I mean, this guy he's fun. I'm not saying he's going to have an SGH impact, but I promise you, when they watched the tape, they thought to themselves, okay, I see a little bit there. I see a little bit there. You know what I mean? And again, you had to go out and you had to add multiple guys here. And this is a guy that I really liked. Once I heard that you were in the mix for him, again, he's I believe, an all MAC second teamer. In the MAC, they produce some offensive linemen and defensive linemen. I'm telling you that, man. Like they can produce them up there in the Ohio region and all that, Great Lakes region type stuff with the MAC. But this is a guy I really like. Again, not saying he's going to be like a world beater or anything like that, but I think he is a very, very valuable piece to a Texas Tech defensive line that needed to add some talent. I think he's a pretty damn talented guy right there. And again, what a day for Texas Tech now, right? 5 recruits. Are we going to have another one while we're live here? I mean, my goodness, man, this guy's they're an animal right now. They're absolutely the animal. Okay. Omarion Miller, 247, crystal ball to Arizona State. Oh, I didn't see that. Did that just happen? Yeah, I didn't see that. Okay. I don't know, man. Call me arrogant, call me whatever the hell you want. I don't really give a shit. I think if you get guys on campus, if you're Texas Tech, you can sway them regardless of whatever the hell the crystal ball says. At the end of the day, I think that's what that tells me. Yeah. So, I think you still have a very good chance to land Omarion Miller. I'll be upfront and honest with you. I don't know how good of a chance you have to land Cam Coleman. I'll just be honest. Like, it's awesome that you're getting to visit and you're going to have a chance to persuade him. But I think Omarion Miller is far more realistic than Cam Coleman. And I hope that each and every one of y'all, all 400 of y'all that are watching me right now, can come back and say, RC, you're a dumbass. I really hope y'all can come back and say that when Cam Coleman hopefully commits to Texas Tech. I hope y'all can say that. And I'll be here for it. I'll enjoy every ass chewing that y'all have for me. I really will. 400 people are in here, by the way. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Got 200 likes on here. We're creeping our way to 15,000 subs here on the channel. Almost at 14,400. Appreciate y'all. It's been a wild and crazy few days here on the channel. Again, this is the 7th video today. 7th video. And I will be posting another one once this live is done. But as long as we've got a lot of people in here, we're going to keep this party going. Cheers to you guys. I'm going to have to go probably grab another beer here in a minute. No, this isn't Two Docs, even though if you want to sponsor Two Docs, it is the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Red and Black Report, but it is the Dos Equis. Is it a hot take for me to say Dos Equis is the best beer? I think y'all are going to hate me for that. That's fine. Coleman even coming to Lubbock is low-key crazy. Yeah, I agree on that front. But at the same time, like, I think it's crazier that Cam Coleman agreed to a visit before Sorsby committed. And that just goes back to my theory. I've talked about it over on the Scarlet and Black Insider, but I've also talked about it here on the channel as well when mentioning Cam Coleman. Like this made me think that the Red Raiders knew they were going to land Brendan Sorsby. Like, this just made me think. Maybe I'm naive on that front, but it is what it is. Let's see. LSU fan said they're going to take everyone. Little did you know, the transfer portal, the Red Raiders own that. The Red Raiders own that. Just show them the "we will" tweet and let's move on. We don't play with ignorance in these parts, and we don't speak broke either, damn it. All right, what else we got here? Now time to have Sorsby bring some of those Cincy guys with him. Yeah, I don't even know who's in the portal. I don't know who's in the portal for them. That'd be interesting, though. On3 says Tech is paying Sorsby $5 million. Good. Get your bag, young man. You think about the life that Brendan Sorsby's living real quick. I'm going to sound like a jealous asshole because I am. Because I am here. So hear me out. You're telling me that I get paid $5 million. My girlfriend transfers to the same school as me, and I have a chance to play for a team that just went to the college football playoff and win a national championship potentially in 2026. Who the hell is who's got it better than me? If I'm Brendan Sorsby, who's got it better than me? Nobody. That's the answer. Nobody. And nobody's got it better than Texas Tech right now. What a time to be a Red Raider, ladies and gentlemen. What a damn time. Okay. Let's see. I saw somebody say something about, I heard UT already moved off of Cam Coleman. Who said that? I would love to know that. Let me know who is reporting that. I would definitely be interested on that front. Do we know what defensive starters are coming back? Yeah. So right now, the defensive starters that we know are coming back or have a strong indication are coming back are AJ Holmes. That's the only one on the defensive line because all those guys are going to get drafted. Bryce Pollock, John Curry, Ben Roberts, Brendan Jordan, Amir Boyd, and I'm going to include Chapman Lewis in there now that he's back from injury. Remember, you get Chapman Lewis back, a guy that was an all-conference safety for the Red Raiders, and was one of the leaders in the country in terms of interceptions one year. So you get that guy back as well. Let's see. Can you give us some more insight on our defensive line next year? I'm feeling kind of underwhelmed with our prospects, especially let me see. Considering the Cofield injury, I wouldn't feel underwhelmed. I think that they're being very strategic about it. And I think that we need to have expectations on this front too. Like, you hit a home run with Lee Hunter. You hit a home run with David Bailey. You hit a home run with Romello Height, right? Like, is it the end of the world if you hit a triple with, say, a guy like, let's say hypothetically, Mateen Ibaragba from Wake Forest? I don't think it's the end of the world, right? You get guys back. Bryce just asked the question, is Bryce Pollock confirmed to be coming back? I haven't heard otherwise that he's leaving. So I am going to say right now that he is coming back for 2026. Maybe we get some formal announcement here in the not too distant future, but I don't really want to play the game of like speculating that he's leaving. I'm just going to say, hey, he's currently on the team right now. So I'm going to keep it that way until somebody tells me different, if that makes sense. But I think Texas Tech is in a really good spot. Your linebackers are going to be the core of your team. You've got Austin Romaine, a two-time All Big 12 linebacker, coming in to replace Jacob Rodriguez. Again, that is the smallest amount of drop-off you can get from Jacob Rodriguez to his replacement. Again, I mentioned a little bit earlier, but Jacob Rodriguez graded out as the best linebacker in the Big 12, actually graded out as the best defensive player in the country, but best linebacker in the Big 12. And the second was Austin Romaine. So there you go. You obviously bring back Ben Roberts, who I think Ben Roberts next year in the 2027 draft, after he leaves Texas Tech, I think he could be a day 2 NFL draft pick, right? John Curry was a star at the star position for the Red Raiders. And you bring back Amir Boyd, you bring back BJ, Brendan Jordan, and then you have Chapman Lewis. And who says you aren't going to add another guy or two to your secondary? You more than likely will with some of the guys that already left, including Mo Horn. Your defense is going to be really good. Obviously, the biggest concern for Texas Tech fans is who's going to replace guys on the offensive line. I like what they're doing. Again, the names to monitor there are Mateen Ibaragba That's really hard for me to say. The Wake Forest DT, he's supposed to be on campus sometime in the not too distant future for Texas Tech. 3 guys on the interior that were on campus. 1 just committed. And DT from Akron. Let's go ahead and put it on your screen real quick. This guy right here, Julian Lenture. So you've got that. You've got AJ Holmes coming back, but also on the D line side of it, you had JoJo Johnson, the Oregon State defensive lineman, on campus. Bryce Butler was on campus today. You've had Wendell Gregory, an Oklahoma State edge, on campus already. Trey White, the San Diego State transfer that had 19.5 sacks over the past 2 years, is set to be on campus soon. Like, again, you're not going to find a David Bailey. Like, I hate to break it to you. You're just not going to find a David Bailey. That was just finding a needle in a haystack, especially considering the circumstances that had happened, right? Remember, David Bailey actually visited Texas first and then came to Texas Tech, right? Like, I mean, big time stuff for Texas Tech on that front. But yeah, man, big monumental day for the Red Raiders. What about the edge from Utah? I think you're talking about John Henry Daly or whatever his name is. I think he probably ends up at Michigan, but he's also hurt. So I don't know if you really want to do anything with that. I don't know if he plays next year because I think it's an Achilles thing. So we'll see on that front. I'm seeing somebody said Skylar Gill Howard is coming back. Where did you hear that? Has it been confirmed? I have not seen any confirmation of that. So I don't really want to speculate on that front. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. Not trying to say that that's wrong or anything, but I haven't seen like a confirmed confirmation like from Skylar Gill Howard or, like a Joey McGuire or something like that. And I think that would be a message Joey McGuire would put out there happily that Skylar Gill Howard is returning. So I'll believe that when we get a little bit more of official reporting and everything like that. But what a day for Texas Tech, man. You go and sizably upgrade your quarterback position. Sizably, and no disrespect to Baron Morton, but you had to go get an upgrade. And Brendan Sorsby is definitely that. This is a guy that will attract a ton of talent. Yeah, a ton of talent. And you had to have this guy in your building, or at least confirmed to be in your building for 2026, because you got 2 really big visits for your wide receiver room coming up, and Cam Coleman and Omarion Miller. I'm not saying that's the end of the world or anything. But yeah, that's kind of, where we're at on that front. Let's see here. Cody Campbell. Let's go ahead and put that tweet up there. I'll go ahead and do that. Carson, let's go see what we got here in terms of everything. Good old Cody Campbell. What we got here? Oh, this is fun. This is fun. Yeah, good call out here, Carson. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and read it. This is from Cody Campbell. Let's go. Texas Tech got a taste this year, want more, and are building a dynasty. We are hungrier and more committed than ever before. Each Texas Tech player will be surrounded and supported by an elite cast of teammates, a sound culture and program, a solid, stable coaching staff, and the best facilities in the country, and the most passionate and committed fan base in America. You know what? Cheers to that. Cheers to that. I'm going to end it there, actually, I think. I need to go make a Julian Lenture commitment video. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. What a day, man. What a fucking day for Texas Tech. They land their quarterback for 2026. They get an all Big 12 linebacker. They add multiple pieces in terms of the wide receiver group. You also add a guy in Julian Lenture on the defensive line. What a day. And the Red Raiders, I'm telling you this right now, they're just getting started. They're just getting started. All right. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in today. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and join the largest group and most interactive group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube right here in the Red and Black Report, an hour even. I appreciate every one of y'all, and be on the lookout for that Julian Lenture commitment video. I'm recording it right now. So I'll catch you next time. And as always, stay safe and wreck 'em Tech, damn it.